Splatoon 2 is bringing us a whole lot of fun on July 21st, but it turns out that squids and kids aren't that big when it comes to file size. What's up, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and the UK eShop just revealed that Splatoon 2 will be a 3.1 gigabyte download when it hits the systems in just under 3 weeks.
That's not a big download at all.
It's not that big, and it's interesting to see that Nintendo is pretty good at condensing their games down. We've got ARMS, the most recent release, that clocked in at 2.3 gigabytes. 1-2 Switch was only 1.3 gigabytes. The beloved Snipper Clips, albeit a 2D title, 949 megabytes. Mario Kart a little bigger at 6.75 gigabytes. And Zelda really the only King Kahuna at 13 gigs, but that's to be expected given the enormous size of that world.
Yeah, This is like really good news for people that like buy digitally and they buy it right at midnight. Like these 3 gig downloads don't take very long at all. They take like 5-10 minutes. Like, of course, it depends on your internet connection. But for like ARMS, I wanted the digital copy of that, so we got it right at midnight, and it took me like 5 minutes to download the 2.3 gigs. So yeah. I'm very happy about the file sizes here. I think it's a decent size for Splatoon, right? For the type of game it isn't like this big open world. There is a single player campaign, but
I'm just impressed. Like giving us multiplayer, giving us the salmon run and the single player campaign, plus all of the gear, all that stuff. Like 3.1 feels like they did a nice job, and I think it's a good thing for people who rely on that 32 gigabytes. It's turned out that outside of Zelda, 32 gigs is actually giving you decent space and can hold quite a few games.
That's true. I didn't even think about that, honestly. That is a really good point.
Yes.
But let's go over the stuff in Splatoon a little bit. Like, we don't know exactly how many multiplayer maps there's going to be, right? But right. we know that there's like one salmon run map, and if we can, I guess, just ponder that the campaign is going to be similar in scope and size to the first one, right? Like, I wonder if maybe you can look this up while I talk, but how big was the download for Splatoon 1 on Wii U? And maybe while you look that up very quickly, if you can, I'll talk about the Zelda DLC, right? There was an interesting thing where it was like 3 gigs or something on Wii U, and it was less than a gig on Switch. So they are doing a very good job of condensing these things for Switch, and maybe it does have something to do with what you mentioned about 32 gigs. It's not a whole lot of space. We got to really compress these things as best we can to make these things like more digestible for people to have multiple games on their Switch.
Right, and just more of the portable digital focus for Switch, because Wii U was sitting at the same memory size, but being that it's a home console, maybe they didn't feel like digital was as much a priority, and when it came out, it wasn't as much a priority. Yeah, Splatoon 1 actually debuted at 1.8 gigs.
Also really small. Okay.
Yeah, so this is, in theory, nearly double the size of Splatoon 1. Now, I don't think there's going to be double the content, but that does give you an idea that, like, okay, they didn't skimp on anything here. The file size is much larger. It is a crispier, prettier game, and hopefully there's just as much or more good stuff in the sequel. So let us know what you think of the file size in the comments down below. Nintendo, again, doing a real good job with this. ARMS at 2.3, Splatoon 2 at 3.1. That is only 5.4 if you buy both of their June-July releases, and you still have 26 or so gigs left over. Let us know how you're filling up your 32. Hit that like button if you are pumped for Splatoon 2. We'll be bringing you coverage as soon as we can. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. For myself and Gabe, Switchforce out.